Damn it. Who the fuck are you?
It's the Rockin Metal Revival!
That's Gina. Well, tell Gina I'm gonna strangle her at the table.
Crank it up!
Hey, she's my best friend. You touch her, you're gonna go through me first. Who the fuck are you? I'll kill you and kill her with your fucking dead body.
Welcome to the show!
All right, horns up, metalheads. Time for another edition of Rockin Metal Revival, the 4th of July edition.
And our 150th edition.
Yeah. Wow, us in America.
Yeah. If we did one of these every year, it'd be like 100. We'd be 150 years old, dude.
Nice.
Older
Wow,
than that.
you've been thinking.
That's like math.
Again.
That's like math, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Today we got a very special edition of the Rockin Metal Revival. We welcome to the show none other than Randy Rhoads' brother, Kelle Rhoads. And, Jerry, you had to have a ton of questions you wanted to talk to him about.
Oh yeah, man. We could have talked to him for hours, dude, if we would have had the much airtime we could use.
Yeah. We know people limit us.
Yeah. I don't know who does, but we
Our
figure
our own talents limit us, my friend.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Based on talent, we'd have a 2-minute show.
That's right. Gathered around.
Every 6 years.
True, exactly. So gather around the barbecue grill, the pool, whatever you need.
Oh, yeah, it is 4th of July.
Yeah, 4th of July weekend. Crank it up while you're sitting out in your backyard parties that you didn't invite us to.
So they're really partying hard in Europe then.
That's right.
Right?
I know they're partying hard up at in Minnesota at Corey's house.
Oh, yeah.
They're waiting for the classic metal show. So, all right.
They're like, these guys, can this 2 hours go any faster?
Hopefully
Can
this
I get
goes
these
quick.
Back?
All right. So we picked a perfect song to kick off this show with. Here's Iced Earth from the CD The Glorious Burden. This is When the Eagle Cries, kicking off this edition, the 150th edition of Rockin Metal Revival.
Sounds good.
Horns up. There's brand new music from Slayer called When the Stillness Comes on Rockin Metal Revival. And, dude, we've played more Slayer in the last 4 weeks
I
than...
know. We've been going nuts with the Slayer.
Yeah.
What's going on?
They're coming in concert, the Mayhem Festival that we talked to Hell Yeah about.
Yeah.
Tom Maxwell from Hell Yeah. It's coming to Milwaukee.
And it's going to be in the big room, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
In the big room.
That at least got the balconies. If we can get there in time to get a good balcony in front,
Yeah.
But where we were for that one, man, and it gets so damn...
Gigantic. It's hotter than hell in there.
It's so hot. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was like being in a freaking oven, dude.
Yeah, that sucked.
But,
All right.
Well,
but how'd you like that new Slayer tune? I kind of like that one.
I do. I like that Slayer doesn't like have to tune down to still write fucking...
Metal tunes?
Yeah, to still write cool music that's, still halfway original and stuff. Instead of, most of these new bands, they tune down so goddamn low. It doesn't matter what notes you're hitting. It all sounds the same.
Exactly.
So, and they just rip off riffs that are normally played in standard tune.
Yeah.
So.
Their new album's coming out in September, so looking forward to that. We might actually have a member of Slayer coming up on the show.
Really?
I've been trying to get Slayer on the show for years.
That'd be cool.
Did I just again this week?
Hey,
you got to understand. Jerry comes in here all medicated.
I try to stay medicated,
and he has a problem holding on to pens, and
I drop everything, man. Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
All right, well, coming up next hour, we're going to talk to Kelle Rhoads, and just on a whim, man, I sent him out a message to see if he'd do the show, and he's like, yeah, sure. And then when I call you, you're like, yeah, go to hell.
I'm like, you're full of shit, man. You didn't call. No, you didn't. You don't got him blind. And then you did.
Yeah. So I mean,
that was really cool. Nice guy, man. I like the joke he told us of when we were hanging up.
You could tell him. Tell the joke.
You tell it.
You know how to make your wife scream during sex?
I used to, but no.
Call her.
No. Call her.
Hey, and congratulations, your old home state there legalized weed.
I know, man, and they were giving it away. A lot of people were giving it away because you can't sell it.
No,
because there's no places to do it yet.
Yeah.
So they man. When I was living there, they had these buildings. They had places set up for this stuff already.
Yeah,
and then the place went out of business as soon as it was like they were working selling this shit, and then it went out of business.
All right. Well, I'm looking.
That would have been a good place to be, though.
Exactly.
Just
just
hopefully
hanging out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm looking forward to next hour when we play back the interview with Kelle Rhoads. Next hour will be just all Ozzy, Randy Rhoads type music.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna talk very much. We're gonna do that. We got lucky enough to have Kelle on the show, so we're not gonna do our normal idiocy. So
yeah, we'll try to. We'll just let that whole
interview
and some music go.
Yep.
Should be good.
Should be a good way to just party on this 4th of July. So in honor of Oregon legalizing the sweet leaf, what do you say we play a little Black Sabbath?
Oh, that's perfect tribute.
Perfect, right here.
Perfect
on Rockin Metal Revival. There's Judas Priest from their latest Redeemer of Souls. It's called March of the Damned, and if they had a parade, you and I would be in it.
Hell yeah, You'd have one of those flags.
Yeah.
The
Confederate flag, or
no? You'd have one, probably the fake ISIS flag with the dildos and the things made out of shape with dildo shapes and butt plug shapes.
And then you'd be all dressed out in a rainbow T-shirt and rainbow wig. Remember Rainbow Wig guy?
Yeah,
at all the sporting
I'd just
events.
Be cool with the rainbow suspenders. Those were
like
cool.
Mork.
Yeah, those were cool.
Those
man.
were cool too.
Yeah, maybe they'll come back.
Boy, there's a lot going on lately with that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you hear where TV Land just banned the Dukes of Hazzard because there's a Confederate flag on top of the General Lee?
Yeah, and that's taking it too far, man. Those guys, wasn't nothing about any of that in there. That's just a fucking paint job. Come on, folks.
Honestly, this country has become way too PC and way too uptight.
Yeah, it's getting a little...
It's getting kind of stupid.
A little too much, yeah.
And that's my opinion.
Yeah, I think just take it off the public, the government buildings, and other than that, fuck, who cares?
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a free country.
Yeah.
You know,
People's
taking it out of the stores and shit, and I'm like, come on, really?
People's ability to voice their opinion and freedom of speech and that kind of stuff really has taken a beating lately.
Yeah, sure has.
Really, good thing we've got our forum here.
We'll try to stay out of the politics.
That's right. We don't do politics.
We'd do a 10-hour fucking show if we got into that.
Exactly. And we start bitching about
nobody would want. Yeah, we'd be pissed off.
Yeah.
We'd be pissed off.
Not enough weed to keep us happy.
No.
But there is in Oregon, like we were talking earlier. Weed isn't just legal in Oregon. It's free. There's only one marijuana price tag that's legal now, and pot prohibition is over in Oregon.
Man. The only time I wish I was back in Oregon.
Yeah, that's right.
Just for a day or so.
Don't you have friends there still?
Oh, yeah.
Attaboy. There's still no system in place to buy or sell weed. That process could take up to another year until legislation passes it that would make it legal for state medical marijuana dispensaries to sell to the public.
Nice.
You can give weed away, and local groups are taking advantage of it. That's exactly what the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws did as the clock struck midnight on Wednesday, handing out joints and seeds to hundreds of local crowded Burnside Bridge.
Oh, at the Burnside Bridge.
You know where that is?
Oh, yeah.
To celebrate marijuana legalization.
Nice.
It was a smoke out with a message. Legalization is much more than being able to smoke a joint in your home without being a criminal.
Yeah.
It's a healthcare issue and a tax revenue issue. It's very true. I mean, they got to look at it that way.
They should have they had plenty of time to get this shit lined up, man. Why didn't they have this stuff lined up? They knew July 1st was eventually going to get here.
Yeah.
Do you like our new calendar?
Oh, yeah. July did get here, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice, huh?
I'm really digging. I really like August.
Yeah.
Never mind. Get back to the news here. Yeah. All right. A New Jersey man robbed Sane Bank 5 years later.
Nice.
Philadelphia man robbed a New Jersey bank 4 months after he was released from prison for robbing the same place 5 years earlier. Is it the only fucking bank he knows? Maybe they probably charged him too much for using his time card and he was trying to get his money back.
That could be.
He
figured they wouldn't recognize him.
Exactly.
He's 5 years older.
Exactly. Authorities say 54-year-old Keith, Ney, entered the Cape Bank of Atlantic City on April 23rd, gave the teller a note, and said he had a gun. Prosecutors said he stole an undisclosed amount of cash. As Ney was fleeing on foot, a bank employee approached a police officer on traffic detail and said the bank had just been robbed. Ney was immediately spotted and taken into custody. He was just released from prison December 9th.
Nice.
Wow.
Way to go, dude.
Yeah.
He probably had boyfriends in there.
He's probably one of those guys that just
He can't acclimate himself
to society.
Yeah, he's better off in there,
Yeah.
I guess.
Three hots and a cot.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like Oz. Remember that movie? That show Oz?
Except for the morning wake-up sex.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's not the best part.
Man in wheelchair robs bank, remains at large.
Nice, he got away.
Did he have a Packer thing on there?
I don't know. They didn't say anything
Police
about
in
it.
New York are searching for a suspect in a wheelchair who rolled out of a bank with $1,200 in stolen money. The alleged bank robber approached a teller at the Santander Bank in Queens shortly after 2 p.m. with a note demanding cash. Surveillance cameras recorded the suspect, believed to be in his late 20s, leaving the bank. He was dressed in jeans and a gray hoodie. It's a little surprising, a man at a nearby store told CBS News, I thought it was a joke at first until I overheard all the police coming in. I realized that it was finally something serious. A witness told CBS that he heard that the wheelchair may have been a prop.
Yeah, that would be...
But the rumor was not confirmed. No injuries were reported, and no abandoned wheelchairs were found at this time.
Yeah, got away. Pretty badass. Maybe he's like a superhero, wheelchair superhero guy.
Like Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
All right, man steals car, gets lost, and runs out of gas.
He should have had a navigator with him.
Police, yeah, I should have had the GPS on. Police say a New York City man driving a stolen car took the wrong road and ended up lost and without gas in Pennsylvania. State police say 26-year-old Kristen Orcio left Queens early Friday and was headed to Syracuse, New York.
Police, I can't read a map and I can't read a gas gauge.
Police tell the morning call Osorio got lost and ended up on the side of the Route 33 in Plainfield, Pennsylvania on Saturday. That's when a state trooper arrived to help him and discovered the car was stolen. He was held on $15,000 bail.
He's like, which side's the gas tank on? He's like, I don't know. Oh, wait, let me... What do you mean you don't know? This ain't your car, bro.
CNN mistakes sex toy flag for ISIS flag in London gay pride parade. They got one thing right, that it's definitely not Arabic. CNN devoted a segment to a purported ISIS flag that was spotted by correspondent Lucy Paul in London during the city's gay pride celebrations on Saturday. If you look at the flag closely, it's clearly not Arabic, Paul said. In fact, it looked like to be gobbledygook, but it was distinctively an ISIS flag. That gobbledygook appears to be an assortment of butt plugs, dildos, and other sex toys
Silhouettes of all of them.
arranged to look like the ISIS flag. Paul went on to cast suspicion on a man dressed in black at the festivities who said he was displaying the flag. It seemed to be the only person who has spotted this, and nobody seems to be raising any questions or pointing it out. ISIS reportedly murdered gay men by dropping them off buildings.
Oh, yikes, man. That's a funny flag, though. That's a funny flag, though.
Just looking for a place to hang one in here. No. All right, man buys wrong lottery ticket and wins $30,000.
Nice.
A man in southwestern Connecticut who mistakenly bought the wrong lottery ticket is $30,000 wealthier. Why can't that happen to us?
I know, man. I do that every
Bob
day.
Sabo of Easton said he didn't want to wait in line to buy a lottery ticket at the Super Stop and Shop in Fairfield, so he decided to buy a ticket from a lottery vending machine, something he had previously never done. Sabo says he meant to buy two $20 tickets, but says he didn't have his glasses on and instead bought a $30 ticket. When he got home, he discovered the ticket was a winner.
Nice. Way to go. Yeah, in Oregon they have those.
Do they?
Yeah, you just walk up and frickin' the machine and...
They got gambling and pot.
Like
Is prostitution legal in Oregon?
I don't know.
If it is, we're moving the show up there.
Could be.
All right.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm not into that.
All right.
Oh, unless you want to run a ring or something.
That could be
Is
it.
that what you're talking about?
Pot prostitution ring.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And they deliver pot, too.
Do they?
Yeah. Well, you'd have the prostitutes deliver pot.
Exactly. Sounds good to me.
There you go.
All right, we've got it.
There you go.
All right. All right, so coming up, we've got news you can't use.
Okay.
Got some good stuff there. And we'll talk about Black Sabbath, Warrant, Iron Maiden,
No.
Quiet Riot.
No,
all kinds
really?
of great stuff. Right now, let's go back to early 1990s.
We could do that.
So here's some Skid Row.
Wow, we are going back.
This is called The Threat on Rockin Metal Revival.
Here's your latest hard rock and metal news on Rockin Metal Revival.
All right, it's time once again for talking real metal. News you can't use. Gather the kids around the stereo speakers. Everybody out of the pool and away from the barbecue grill because you're going to learn something here.
Dude, I got some of those Bluetooth headphone things the other day at Walmart.
Yeah.
Because that's me. I'm a Walmart
Yeah.
shopper. And those are kind of cool, man. The Bluetooth without, so you don't have to have the fucking wires and yeah, they hook up to your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
I thought it was news time. I'd spread some news.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, they're okay.
All right.
I got cheap ones, though.
Yeah, good. You didn't get
I
the
don't-
Beats
I
by
won't-
Dre or anything?
I won't buy any of that
Okay.
crap. No,
All right.
screw them.
All right. Joey Belladonna didn't understand why his voice wasn't right for Anthrax during the John Bush era.
Yeah, they wanted a gruffier tone, man.
Yeah.
They need...
John Bush is no offense to Joey Belladonna. I like the stuff he does with Anthrax.
Yeah.
But as far as vocalist goes, I would take John Bush.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Frankie Banali, I felt it was unfair for me not to be able to continue with Quiet Riot. How do you feel about that?
Well...
I think if you would have kept him and Rudy in it.
Yeah, if Rudy was in it,
Yeah,
too.
or Carlos.
But they do got... doesn't he have the bass player, Chris...
Chuck Wright.
Chuck Wright,
Yeah.
So there's two guys, because Chuck Wright's played the bass line in frickin' Mental Health.
And Alex Garassi has been with the band for 10 years, and he was there when Kevin was there.
in it.
So
Yeah.
I guess
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, it's cool to keep the music out
Yeah.
there, man. It's not like he's making a killing off of it.
No.
So fuck, go for it.
Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson takes part in musical therapy session with special needs kids. That's cool.
That was cool, man. I saw some video of that. Yeah.
That's very cool. Ex-Iron Maiden singer Paul Di'Anno, I wasn't going to retire. I thought he retired after Killers.
They retired him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Slayer's Kerry King on Repentless. Some of these songs are classics already.
It hasn't been released yet.
Well, we've only heard two.
Yeah, we've heard two.
I like the two we've heard. But
Yeah, but I mean, when does it come out?
September 11th.
Oh, okay. So I mean, he's listening to it all the time. So
Yeah,
they're
and
classics
and
to him.
they're playing it in concert.
Oh, okay.
So it probably
Oh, they-
fits right in the set. You know,
Yeah.
Slayer doesn't change, man. Slayer's
Yeah.
Slayer.
There's not. You mean there's not going to be like a power ballad?
No,
Really?
that song
That last one was
was
power
as
ballad-ish,
ballady
but-
as Slayer's ever
yeah,
going to get.
Yeah.
The new Queensryche album is ready to be released in October. That's the Queensryche with Todd LaTorre.
Yeah, that's the Queensryche.
Yeah.
Queensryche.
Anthrax announces The Devil You Know, a new limited edition high-end bourbon. I got to get some of this,
That's
dude.
why I figured I better put that in the news so I knew you knew about it.
Did you know where to get it?
No.
Did you read the story?
You got to talk to the devil.
All right.
You got to send a letter to
I
Satan.
had some stuff when I was at Jim Beam in Kentucky not too long ago called The Devil's Cut.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
There's not an N in that last word, is there?
No.
Cut. Okay.
No. Journey drummer, this guy's fucked up. Journey drummer Dean Castronovo charged with rape. Now, you knew something was up when they replaced him already.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
because if it was just what was it,
Domestic
assault,
abuse or whatever, assault,
yeah. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, well, he pays a fine and
goes home.
stay away from her,
Yeah.
but he's turned out to be an asshole.
Yeah, he's
Not
a
a good
fucking
gig.
ass clown. All right, Judas Priest, Rob Halford. What we're doing right now is some of our best metal. How do you feel about that?
I think they are doing. They're still Priest, man. It's,
Yeah.
Even though they got a different guitarist, the new guitarist does great jobs too.
I like
And
the new album,
He adds
Redeemer
a little
Souls.
to it too. So, yeah.
We still got to try to get
I'd
KK
like to-
Downing on this show.
One
and
more
talk to
album.
him.
I'd like to hear another
Yeah.
album with him. Yeah, we should get KK on though. We
See,
will.
I'll reach out to him, see what I can do.
That's a long way.
That's a
dude.
long
You
way.
Need a long arm.
I will. Kerry King says one of Jeff Hanneman's last decisions in Slayer was to get Paul Bostoff back. Wow.
Huh?
That's a good
Yeah.
good call on that one.
Yeah, he's a good drummer.
Bill Ward, I'm still not happy with the bass drum sound on Black Sabbath's Iron Man. A little late to change it now, Bill. Warrant's Jerry Dixon. Jenny Lane's death was a sad ending to something that was really good. That was sad, man. That
Yeah.
guy could write some tunes.
And in a hotel room alone.
By himself, yeah. You know what, dude, every time we had Janie on the show, he was cool.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
Yeah,
man.
he was, yeah.
Good storyteller.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, lyrically and just talking, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Kiss guitarist Tommy Thayer doesn't rule out new studio album.
I know you're waiting.
I'm just going to
Can't
go.
wait.
Jerry, we're going to pass through that. Report AC/DC catalog to be made available on subscription streaming music services.
Huh.
That's kind of cool.
That Apple one, does that one start?
I've heard about that, but I haven't seen anything on
it.
it.
An Apple streaming thing. I don't do the streaming thing.
I do at work because it's the only way I can listen to decent music without having to listen to fucking music.
Okay.
Jeff Tate's Operation Mindcrime to release the Key album. Now, I put a sampler up on our Facebook page. What did you think?
He's just got to balls up and raise his voice.
Yeah.
Because he's not, that low voice is not his strong suit.
No.
And he does it constantly. He just totally ignores his upper register, which is where his those are his.
That's
money.
what made him famous.
Those are his money notes, and he's just fucking singing down here instead of way up fucking high.
Exactly.
Where he's got all these balls and control.
Maybe
and stuff.
he can't do it anymore.
Yeah, but if you can't do it anymore, fucking retire. Don't put me through that.
All right.
Don't put me through this.
Okay. And last but not least, Anthrax Joey Belladonna rocks Alice in Chains, Led Zeppelin, and AC/DC classics with Chief Bigway. You want to explain that to me?
I was jamming some. I didn't even read the story, dude.
All right. Shit. Okay,
I didn't know I was supposed to be informed. I just grabbed the headline, dude.
All right, we are. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Hey, it's news to you.
Yeah.
It's news to us too.
Okay. All right. Coming up next hour, it's a tribute to Randy Rhoads. We do one at least once a year, and we're going to talk to Kelle Rhoads next hour. Right now, here's Ace Frehley, and this is Rock Soldiers. Ending up hour number 1 of Rockin Metal Revival.
This portion of Rockin Metal Revival is brought to you by...
Here he is! TV's Ozzy Osbourne!
We're all here to help our good friend Chef, who has touched our lives in the past. I remember when I was just starting out, Chef suggested I buy a pompadour hat. I thought he said, bite the head off a bat. So I did, and the rest? Oh, it's just history. Now let's go crazy! Ain't nowhere to run, 'cause I be running this. Ain't nowhere to hide.
Oh my God! Ozzy Osbourne bit Kenny's head off! You bastard!
And now here's...
Right there is one of my favorite all-time tracks from Ozzy Osbourne. There is Diary of a Madman on Rockin Metal Revival. And, dude, I just love the way that classical guitar starts out and then... Randy
the whole classical vibe in the whole thing. Is
just let's rip. And it's been no secret in the 9 years we've been doing Rockin Metal Revival that, buddy, to me, you are the biggest Randy Rhoads fan that I know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, the big tattoo on your arm and the whole front room decorated in Randy stuff. So we are honored to have on the show today with us Randy's brother, Kelle Rhoads. Welcome to the show.
And thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be on the show with you this afternoon. And thanks for the kind words about my little brother.
Well, if you could know Jerry personally, Jerry is
he's like my number one, and then everybody else is like way below. Yeah, I've got big posters in my front room. That was my first decorations I put up in my house was Randy Rhoads pictures.
And the guitar.
Oh, that's really cool. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate that. We never get tired of hearing that.
Well, that's good, because I could go on for hours.
Well, Kelle, what I wanted to ask you about, we really would have liked, we had actually tickets to see the Randy Rhoads Remembered shows.
Right.
And now they were have been pretty successful. How did the shows and CDs come about?
What happened was I was on tour in Canada and Newfoundland, and this was back in October 2013, and I got a call from the person who produces me and said, Brian Tichy would like to schedule a meeting with you, and he has a proposition to discuss with you. So he came down, and as you may or may not know, him and his partner Joe Sutton put on an enterprise called the Bonzo Bash, which is a tribute to John Bonham.
Mm-hmm.
And Brian proposed that we do a one-off show that tributizes Randy in the same way that they do John Bonham. And the show was for the period of the NAMM show in Anaheim, California, in 2014, January it was, and it was supposed to be a one-off show. The place holds 1,200. We had 1,500 people. People were insane. They went crazy.
Nice.
So after that show, we sat down and said, this could be a really good thing for everybody. Let's try to see if we can't take this show to other cities. So we did an East Coast tour in May and June 2014, and we did another one in May and June this year, and the last two shows were in California, and the last one was just off the charts. It was insane. And the people that go to these shows just really, really, really love them. And so I guess we're going to, as long as people want to see the show, I guess we're going to keep on going. And they're booking dates for 2016 now.
So
and I think this next time, the show will come close to you guys. You're in Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the show's gonna run through there and go to like the middle states this time.
Nice. That's what I was
And
hoping to hear.
it just is a really incredible thing for the fans, and it's a really incredible thing for the musicians because everybody loves doing it so much. There's no, when you're in a band, you've got three other wives. You've got the problems, and you've got the situation that the other people in the band are involved with, and that's what breaks a lot of bands apart. In this situation, we've got so many big stars that everybody just says, you know what, let's just do this for Randy, and it just works so well that nobody's doing the diva act. Everybody's really cool, and it gets along really good, and it's a real lot of fun to travel with the troupe and to go to the different states. It's a real lot of fun.
So are there any plans to maybe do a DVD or something of this so everybody can see one?
I think that would be a really good idea, and I think I'll bring that up to the people that put this whole enterprise together. I think that would be really good to do that. But as of yet, there is no a DVD as of yet. But I think that's a great idea, and I could see that being the logical next step.
Now, Kelle, are you surprised at how much Randy's guitar playing has influenced so many of today's players?
I am, especially really young people, the young ones coming up. It is amazing for somebody who only had literally 18 months in the spotlight to have this kind of an influence over people. This is astounding, and it's grown so much. If you go back to the time that Randy was in Quiet Riot, you would have the occasional phone call, you'd have the occasional fan come in. We've got people that flock to this place from all over the world. We have let's see. I would say that we have like about a good 70% interest in Randy over the last 5 years. It's growing exponentially, and the sites on the internet are growing. There's more sites and more fan clubs, more things that have to do with Randy. And if you consider the short period of time that he spent in the spotlight, because remember when he was in Quiet Riot, record-wise, he wasn't that successful. Mm-hmm. And that's why he left that band to go work with Ozzy. It's unbelievable, really. It's surreal.
Do you find it crazy that, like, every sporting event, you hear Crazy Train? Like Monday Night Football, in between plays.
I think that's amazing, and I also think it's amazing how little or no money we get for that.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, here we go. Major sporting event, Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now we can look forward to another 35 cents.
Oh, that's terrible.
No.
I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not that much.
Now, but Kelly, your family's done a great job protecting his legacy. I mean, you've had to have lots of people trying to benefit from Randy's image. I've seen T-shirts everywhere. I mean, what's the strangest thing you've come across so far?
The strangest thing, and I've seen some real strange ones. In fact, when I got into the office today, there was a guy from Northern California, and he started calling. This is really, really weird. It's so weird that I got to talk to my wife about this because it's like Twilight Zone material. No, I'm serious. We just got done with the last show of the tour, which was in San Juan Capistrano in California. And at that same time, that concert was ending. There was somebody in Northern California that would call like at 1:09 a.m., 1:20 a.m., 1:40 a.m., 1:50 a.m., 2:10 a.m. I think he called like 17 times, and some of the stuff he was saying was like really scary, bizarre, really, really bizarre. So, okay, welcome to the next step. Now stalkers come into the thing.
Yeah.
But I would say that one of the weirdest things that I've ever heard is this one fan that lives out in California, and he's got a great deal of money. And, we have Randy's car, and this guy was willing to pay a significant amount of money to buy the cigarette butts out of Randy's ashtray.
Dang.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that is pretty strange. I don't know if he knows this or not, but you can't clone humans yet, if that was his intent.
Yeah. To get the
You know what I'm
DNA.
saying?
Yeah.
You can't clone. We don't have that. I think it's just sheep right now.
But, yeah. Wow.
But that, I think, is strange. And then there's also the Venezuelan goat girl. There's a girl that lives in Venezuela, in Caracas, and she's absolutely, and she's told us this with a straight face, she's absolutely convinced that Randy's going to come back via reincarnation as a goat. So she's going around singing Crazy Train to all the goats that she comes into.
We got to get
and
her
to
on
see
the
if
show.
there's any kind of a response. I think she even puts a little bow tie on them if they hold still long enough.
We got to get her on the show, bud. All right. I guess another question we had that we were throwing through because Jerry's got a million questions, but this is one that we both kind of agreed on. What happened to the Randy Rhoads movie project with Peter Margolis a few years back?
If I discuss that, I'm just going to get really, really, really angry.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Then
So
forget it.
I'm going to respond to your question, because if you ask the questions, it means you're curious. I can just tell you that when you enter a project, I'm talking about any kind of a project, you always think that there's going to be some downside, that things aren't going to work out the way you thought. Let me tell you something. We got fucked 4 ways to Sunday.
Oh.
This was the biggest shitstorm that anybody could ever imagine. In fact, one day they're going to make a documentary about the not documentary about Randy Rhoads. And there's not enough time, and like I said, I don't want to be angry, but it just was one of those. You see, the Rhoads family is very, very open to people. We'll talk to people. We let them come by here. We'll do autographs. We'll do pictures. We have a very, very generous open door policy to the fans and the public. And that sets you up to get fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No.
Someone
So
takes advantage.
the thing is how do you balance it? You know, and we're learning. But these people that are making T-shirts and guitar straps and stuff like that, they never give any money to the estate.
That's just wrong. And whenever
Of course it is.
I see one, if I see one on Facebook, someone will send me a link to one and say, "Hey, you should get that." I'm like, "No, I'm not paying for somebody to rip off the Rhoads family. That's not."
Well,
right.
we do. Fortunately, we do have some really, really great loyal people that work with us, and they troubleshoot for us, and they troll the sites, and they let us know what's going on. But you know what? If some asshole in buttfuck Iowa is making Randy Rhoads T-shirts, and he's probably maybe only going to sell 3,000 at the most, it's not worth us paying
Going
our
down
lawyers
the road.
what we have to pay them
Yeah.
to go track this scumbag down.
Yeah.
The people that honor Randy and really do it the right way, and there are a few, they do cut us in and give us a share, and we put that, in the Randy Rhoads Charitable Trust, or we put some of the money towards the upkeep of the school. But the overwhelming majority do not do it the right way. Like I like to say, they love Randy all the way to the bank. Their bank.
Yeah, exactly, and that's not cool.
And it's just so wrong. But you know what? If you had this conversation with somebody in Michael Jackson's family, or somebody that was related to Marilyn Monroe or James Dean, I'm sure they'd have the same problem.
Oh,
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So growing up with Randy, being the older brother, did you ever have to lay the smackdown on him?
No, but I sure wanted to.
Did he get away with everything? Because I was the baby of the family. I got away with everything.
He got away with more than he should. But I got to be honest with you, he was a very good boy.
Yeah.
He was a fine gentleman, a prince among human beings. Very generous to a fault. Just a really special person. If you've ever read things that made you think, wow, this guy's like almost too good to be real, he was.
Yeah, because I mean that's what really attracted me to Randy Rhoads. Besides the great guitar playing, was his image. He wasn't. You didn't see pictures of him hanging around starlets and all this stuff. You saw pictures of him playing his guitar. If he wasn't playing his guitar, he was sleeping probably. So,
well, now I gotta set the record straight about that. So I'm glad that came up too.
Okay.
Randy enjoyed life.
Oh yeah.
He was people think that he was like some kind of a saint or like a god. In the 1970s, if you looked the way we did, and you were in a rock band, you weren't singing choir songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was a wild time, and everything wasn't politically incorrect back then.
Yeah. That's
And Randy enjoyed the perks to an extent.
yeah.
And he did practice, but he didn't practice like every single waking moment of his life.
Yeah.
He had a good time in the short time that he was allotted on this earth. He enjoyed, he especially enjoyed being around my mom. He was in awe of my mom. If she said, "Randy, look at that beautiful black car," and it was red, he'd go, "I love that black car."
That's
Okay.
awesome.
My mom was the last word.
Yeah.
In fact, she's the reason he joined Ozzy. He wasn't going to join.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't want to be in Black Sabbath. He went to the audition, and my mom said, "Well, did you get it?" And he goes, "I guess so." He goes, "But I don't want to be in Black Sabbath." And my mom said, "Randy, usually in music, everybody gets one really good opportunity." She goes, "This is yours. So you're going."
Wow.
He wasn't going to go. He was going to try to, regroup and try to, because Quiet Riot was his band. He formed it.
Wow.
He auditioned Kevin.
Oh,
In fact,
nice.
he auditioned Kevin with his pal Kelly Garney, who's like my other little brother.
Yeah.
And, they went through different singers and different drummers until they finally found the lineup. But Randy and Kelly started that band, and Randy wanted to be loyal to it, and he didn't want to see that idea die.
I know that through the few times that we've had Rudy Sarzo on our show, that Rudy just misses him so much and just...
we all do.
Yeah, and just values...
It's been over 30 years, and I miss him every single day. I think about him every single day. When I'm on stage and I'm singing, I'm thinking about him.
That's
I just think it was such a tragic loss. But if you look at it, with a very unobjective point of view, it just had to be that way for Randy's legacy. He was like a comet. And you see a comet that burns so bright and it crosses the night sky and it's so beautiful, but it doesn't last for 2 hours. It's a very short time, and that is what makes it so special.
I was telling Jerry, I had the opportunity, I actually got to see Randy play.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, with Ozzy in Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And, like I told Jerry, at the time, I didn't realize what I was seeing, you
No.
know. But to this day, I can remember every note. Do you know what I mean? I remember that
I know
show
exactly what you mean.
like it was yesterday. I remember everything about that show, and my friend here sitting across from me is the biggest Randy Rhoads fan I ever met in my life, and he never got the opportunity to see him play live.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, so I mean,
Well, tell him not to feel too bad because I never got to see Frédéric Chopin play.
oh, there you
So
go.
I know how you feel.
Well, that leads to my next question. Now, you're a classical pianist, and
I am.
And Randy really loved classical guitar. What is it about classical music that struck such a chord with both of you?
Our parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're kind of like the leaves on the tree. The musical tradition in our family goes back probably about 150 years.
Wow.
And my mother and my father both played classical music. My mom was a soloist. What she would do is she would work with orchestras, and she wasn't in the orchestra. She would be invited, and she would do cornet solos.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
And the classical impetus is very, very, very strong. I have every reason to believe that Randy would have gone heavily into classical music and done something with classical guitar that wouldn't have ever been done before. I think that's the direction he was going in. Me, I've sung in rock and heavy metal bands for years. About 20 years ago, I decided to make the switch, and I can tell you there's nothing like it. To compare rock music, R&B, metal, and all that with classical is like comparing a swimming pool that everybody in the neighborhood is pissed in to the ocean.
Nice.
Oh,
Great comparison. Great comparison. Well, now that we're on to that subject, tell us a little bit about what you're up to, Kelly, right now.
Well,
Your
thank you
music
for
career.
asking. I've just released my 4th classical record, and it's called Magnificent Obsession. And it's definitely, I feel, my best. It's been selling very well for classical music. I came out with my very first one, Titanic Overture, in 2005, and I followed that in 2007 with Portraits of Oblivion. And in March of 2011, I came out with Pride and Profanity. Now, that one was the bestseller up till now. I think that Magnificent Obsession is totally going to be considered and written as my best work to date. And I'm already starting to work on the music for the next one, which will be my 5th.
Now, where can people get a hold of it? Because
There's a couple different ways. I don't understand, and I don't believe in that iTunes or Cloud Tunes or CD Baby or Dead Babies or whatever the fuck that shit is. I don't do any of that. What happens is you either go to Amoeba Records, which I understand that you do not have in Wisconsin, or you simply take an envelope, put a money order in it or a check, send it to me at the school, 12111 Tierra Street, Valley Village, California, 91607, and I'll send you a CD or all of them or whichever you want the very next day. And people have been ordering this way for 10 years, and nobody has not gotten what they ordered.
So do you have like a website or something where...
I have a Facebook, but
Okay.
I don't have a website yet.
Okay.
Okay?
So-
I don't have one yet. I'm not very technologically advanced. You see, I love technology, but I hate change.
Yeah.
Exactly, I get that.
So I'm kind of old school. And fortunately, I have a brilliant wife that really helps me on the internet because, of course, I'm not so ignorant to completely turn my back on it and say, well, I don't understand it, so I'm not going to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Exactly.
People book tours of this place through the internet,
Exactly.
and they buy my CDs through the internet. And so the easiest way to do it is for people to simply send me $10, and I'll send a CD.
Can you get all 4 of them?
You can get all 4 of them for
Not for $10.
No, I mean for $10
Well,
a
you can
piece.
I would say if you're going to get all 4 of them at one time, I would need like $50 because I have to pay for postage and all that.
Okay. I just want to let people know so if they're curious in ordering them. I mean, I know
Right.
the guy probably across the mics from me right here is probably writing the address down right now.
12111 12111 Tierra, Tiara. in Valley Village, California, 91607, and address it to Musonia School of Music. I collect the mail, so I'll see it. If they want to put attention, Kelly, it's okay, but they don't really need to. Let me just give a brief discussion of what I do. I do classical music, and I principally compose for the pianoforte.
Nice.
It's serious classical music.
Cool. One thing that tell me if I'm way off on this, but what I picture Randy would have been doing is what nowadays would be like considered what Trans-Siberian Orchestra, kind of the heavy metal.
I think that would be close.
Mix.
One of the guys that participates in the Randy Rhoads Remembered Concert Series is Chris Cafferty from the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and I think that he very much would have gone in that direction, and I also think that he would have taken the classical guitar, and I think he would have brought it a notch further.
Very cool.
You see, it's kind of like in the 1840s in Paris. Franz Liszt, and I know your audience is probably going, "Who the fuck are you talking about?"
No,
Franz Liszt and Joseph and Frederick Chopin didn't invent piano. Piano had already been invented before, but they took it to another level, and they reintroduced it to the public in a way that changed it, and that's what Randy did with guitar.
For sure.
I think it's safe to say that Eddie Van Halen did the same thing. And what they did was they didn't invent the guitar, but they took it in another direction that influenced what's come since that time.
Exactly.
And I really think that my brother would be working with me. Now that's kind of like I'm patting myself on the back to say that, because I certainly do not put myself in his league, nor would I ever try to do so. But I really feel that what I'm doing right now, which I didn't even do when he was alive, I didn't play, piano at that time. I think that he would really fall into it and contribute with me, and I don't think he would just do that, but I think that would be one of the things that we would do together, because we started together. We were in a band called Violet Fox, and you were talking about, did you smack your brother ever, and blah, blah, blah. Well, in Violet Fox, that lasted about 9 months or so, and if I stayed in that band anymore, I would have got a pipe and bashed his head. Sibling rivalry.
And Kelly, aside from being an influential guitar player, and also he designed what is considered to be the most heavy metal guitar, the Jackson Rhodes.
Right.
Do you think Randy today would be surprised how popular and how influential he is?
He'd be hiding in the closet because he was shy, and he would go, "I can't believe this." It would drive him to distraction to know that he became this big. He was a real shy, unassuming person. In fact, people used to tell me it's an act, right? Like, how can the guy be that good? How can you be a virtuoso like that and have such an aw shucks attitude? And I go, that's the way Randy is. That's the way he is. Most of the people in the music business, or who never got in the music business, who just plans out to be famous, they always end up working at Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
Randy didn't plan or care about any of that. He just wanted to play, and he just wanted to get better. If Randy didn't make any money from his music, he still would have worked as hard of it, because that's what he was put here to do. And he's one of those fortunate people that found that out early in his life.
All right.
The guitar and Randy are synonymous.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Now, how's your mom doing?
Well, in 2009 she had to retire from public life.
Yeah.
And she doesn't teach or run the school anymore. She passed it over to me.
Yeah.
And for her age, she's doing quite well, and she's still with us, but she is just not able to teach and participate in all the things for Randy anymore. It's very hard for her to to get around. She's essentially an invalid.
Oh, that's she's like Mother Teresa to us Randy Rhoads fans.
Well, I've heard her called that. Frank Hannon from Tesla called her that. Yeah, the Mother Teresa of metal.
Yeah.
And Zach Wilde calls this place, I'm talking to you from Musonia School of Music, Zach calls this place Mecca.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's why everybody wants to go
and
there.
you know, my mom started this school. It was her dream. She started this school shortly after World War II, and we have 67 years of operation, and it's turned into a literal musical dynasty.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
The people flock here, and they're just so, oh my God, they're just so happy to be here. They've wanted to come for so long. They didn't have enough nerve to do it or whatever, or they weren't out here in California, and they come in here and they're just in awe of this place.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I would be.
I got one more question for you, Kelly.
Only
before
one
we let
more?
You go. Yeah, before we let you go.
Okay.
All right. Out of all the tracks that your brother recorded with Ozzy, which one do you like the most?
Flying High Again.
Nice.
Beautiful.
I think those arpeggios in the guitar solo, they're absolutely brilliant. That shows you right there what kind of talent you're dealing with.
Oh yeah,
That's my favorite. I also love the one with the piano interlude. Is it Revelation Mother Earth or is it good? Well, yeah, Revelation Mother Earth.
Yeah, that's
outstanding.
A sweet one too. Love that guitar solo, the harmonic minor.
Well, Kelly, we appreciate you taking time to be on our show. I know this meant a lot to Jerry. It meant a lot to me to have you on the program today.
Anytime.
And we hope we get that Randy Rhoads Remembered show up here in our neck of the woods.
I'll do whatever I can to make sure that happens. Like I said, the shows have been really, really successful, and I think we're just going to go forward and do more of them. And it's really wonderful.
Excellent.
Cool. And
I want to thank all the fans. They're the people that put Randy where he is. Randy's talent, yeah, okay, yes, but people vote with their feet. The people that go to these shows, the people that love him so much, that's what placed him in the pantheon that he's in. Mm-hmm. So thank you so much from the Rhoads family to all the fans. Thank you so much. We love that you love Randy that much.
That's awesome. And please give our best to your mom.
I certainly will.
There's Quiet Riot and Slick Black Cadillac. I always liked that tune, dude.
And I like that version. I like that version with Randy's playing better than I did. It's just the production, I guess, in the newer Quiet Riot was a lot more improved.
A lot cleaner.
Yeah.
But, hey, that was cool, man, getting to talk to Kelle Rhoads. And I called him up after we got done with the interview, and I said, hey, thanks. We appreciated you being on the show.
Yeah.
And he said, anytime. I'm ready for round number 2.
Oh, awesome. Because, we got a whole shitload of questions we went through.
I mean, maybe we'll do that as an anniversary on his birthday every year.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
We'll talk to Kelly. We'll talk to Rudy. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
See, dude, I take care of you.
I know. I appreciate it. That was awesome, dude.
All right. So coming up next week, we're going to talk to Johnny Hetherington from the band Art of Dying.
Ah, okay.
They got a new song on the radio right now called Rise Up.
Yeah.
And it is kicking ass and taking names, and they're coming to the area here coming up. So we thought we'd get them on the air and play a little new music next week. So
okay.
I want everybody out there to have a happy 4th of July listening in the U.S. In other countries, just Michael in Poland, just celebrate like you're here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So
get drunk.
As Team America would say.
Uh-oh.
America!
Fuck.
Oh, man, don't drink and drive.
Smoke and fly.
Peace.
This brings to an end another edition of Rockin Metal Revival. If you enjoyed it, tell a friend. If you didn't, tell two. Until next time, this is Rockin Metal Revival.
Hey, stop crowding us, you shit-faced cockmasters. Wow.
To catch the whole show of Rockin Metal Revival, all you have to do is check it out on these affiliates. Mega Rock Radios on Saturdays from 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and on Uncontrolled Noise Tuesdays at 1 a.m., Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern on UncontrolledNoise.com. And make sure that you leave them a message and tell them that you found Rockin Metal Revival on their stations. Enjoy this edition of Rockin Metal Revival.